Nestled in the heart of Virginia lies Mystic Falls, a small town with tree-lined streets, historic architecture, and a sense of quiet charm. On the surface, it seems ordinary, a place where high school dances, local diners, and summer fairs create the illusion of a peaceful, familiar life. But beneath its quaint exterior, Mystic Falls hold a dark, ancient secret. Its streets are haunted by centuries of tragedy, betrayal, and supernatural forces that refuse to remain buried. The Vampire Diaries is more than a story about vampires. It is a tale of love, loss, power, and consequence. It is a world where the human heart meets the immortal soul, where choices echo across generations, and where friendship and family are constantly tested by forces beyond comprehension. At its center are the Salvatore brothers. Stefan, the brooding, moral vampire fighting his bloodlust, and Damon, the reckless, passionate, and dangerously charming older brother. Their rivalry, loyalty, and love intertwine with that of Elena Gilbert, a young woman whose arrival into the supernatural world changes the fate of Mystic Falls forever. As the story unfolds, viewers are drawn into a universe where witches wield incredible power, werewolves struggle with curses, and ancient vampires, the originals, cast long shadows over the lives of everyone they encounter. Friendships are tested, alliances shift, and every moment carries the weight of life, death, and immortality. The town itself becomes a character, alive with mystery, secrets, and the echoes of the past. From the first haunting moments of the series, The Vampire Diaries captures the tension of forbidden love, the thrill of danger, and the heartbreak of impossible choices. It asks timeless questions. How far would you go to protect those you love? What price is too high for power? Can one ever truly escape the past, or the darkness within? This is a story of passion and peril, of heartbreak and redemption. It is a journey through 8 seasons of secrets revealed, identities challenged, and destinies rewritten. Step into Mystic Falls and enter a world where every shadow hides a story, every love carries a risk, and every heartbeat could be the last. Mystic Falls, though steeped in beauty and tradition, is a town on the edge of darkness. Its streets hum with normal life. High school students walking to class, friends laughing at the local diner, families tending to their homes. But the calm is fragile, almost deceptive. It is in this delicate balance that Elena Gilbert's story begins. A young woman marked by loss, Elena is still mourning the death of her parents, struggling to find stability in a life suddenly overshadowed by tragedy. She is kind, resilient, and fiercely loyal, yet she is blissfully unaware of the ancient and dangerous forces that are about to enter her world. Enter Stefan Salvatore. Returning to Mystic Falls after years away, Stefan carries a secret older than the town itself. Handsome, quiet, and disciplined, he is a vampire striving to live morally, resisting the dark thirst that comes with his immortality. From the moment he meets Elena, their connection is immediate and undeniable, a bond that feels both natural and fated. But Stefan's arrival does not go unnoticed. His older brother, Damon, follows him, bringing chaos in his wake. Damon is unpredictable, charming, and dangerous, embracing the darker side of vampirism without restraint. His presence complicates the fragile equilibrium of Mystic Falls, and it is Damon who pushes Elena and Stefan into conflicts that will shape their lives forever. As these 3 central figures navigate love, desire, and morality, the town itself becomes a character. Mystic Falls is revealed to hold centuries of secrets, the founding families, the legacy of the original vampires, and a history of murders, disappearances, and mystical events. Within this web of past and present, we meet the people who will stand by Elena and the Salvatore brothers, shaping the battles to come. Bonnie Bennett, Elena's best friend, discovers her own latent magical abilities, connecting the human and supernatural worlds. Caroline Forbes, initially a fragile and insecure teenager, begins a journey of transformation that will redefine her life. Matt Donovan, steadfast and human, represents the morality and heart of the town, reminding viewers that humanity can endure even amidst the darkest forces. Season 1 establishes the rules of this universe. The delicate balance between human and supernatural, the complexity of love and loyalty, and the haunting idea that every choice has consequences. It is a season of awakening, where friendships are formed, rivalries ignited, and the first hints of danger emerge from the shadows. By the finale, the town of Mystic Falls is forever changed. The arrival of the Salvatore brothers marking the beginning of a saga that will span centuries, intertwining romance, revenge, and eternal struggle between light and darkness. If Season 1 was the awakening of Mystic Falls, then Seasons 2 and 3 are the town's descent into chaos. The delicate balance of normal life shatters as the supernatural world bursts fully into view. Stefan and Damon's presence alone has disrupted the town, but new forces arrive that will change everything. Werewolves, hybrids, and the first of the original vampires. Tyler Lockwood, the high school's golden boy, becomes a central figure in this upheaval. Initially charming, hot-headed, and unaware of his family's dark legacy, Tyler is revealed to carry the curse of the werewolf. As he grapples with uncontrollable transformations, he becomes both a threat and an ally, his struggle mirroring the eternal tension between humanity and the supernatural. Alongside Tyler, the human characters, Matt Donovan and Rick, the town's police chief, face the impossible task of maintaining order in a town increasingly dominated by forces they cannot comprehend. And then comes Klaus Mikaelsson. Ancient, cunning, and ruthless, Klaus is the first original vampire, a being whose power surpasses anything Mystic Falls has seen. His presence marks a turning point, raising the stakes for every character. Klaus's obsession with Elena, combined with his manipulation of Tyler as a hybrid, transforms the town into a battlefield where loyalty, love, and life itself are constantly at risk. Elijah, the honorable brother, and Rebecca, the fiercely devoted sister, expand the original family's influence, making it clear that the world Elena and the Salvatores inhabit is larger, darker, and far more dangerous than they ever imagined. Meanwhile, Elena continues to navigate her relationships with the Salvatore brothers. Stefan represents safety, morality, and the promise of grounded love, while Damon embodies danger, passion, and temptation. The love triangle that forms between them drives much of the personal conflict, intertwining romance with the supernatural struggle that surrounds them. As Elena's connection to both brothers deepens, the series explores the moral complexities of love and desire, highlighting the sacrifices that immortality demands. The Witches of Mystic Falls, led by Bonnie Bennett, grow in prominence during these seasons. Bonnie discovers the limits and power of her magic, often acting as the town's safeguard against the increasingly lethal threats. Caroline's transformation into a vampire brings a new layer to the story. Her journey from insecure teen to empowered, strategic player underscores the personal costs of supernatural existence. Seasons 2 and 3 also introduce doppelgangers, a concept that will shape the series' mythology for years to come. Elena's identity as Catherine Pierce's doppelganger adds layers of intrigue, danger, and destiny, linking her fate inexorably to the town's dark history. Season 3, in particular, is defined by escalating conflicts. Klaus's plans for dominance, the rise of the hybrids, and the deepening rivalry between Stefan and Damon as they confront both external enemies and the demons within themselves. By the end of these seasons, Mystic Falls is no longer just a town, it is a battlefield. Friendships are tested, loyalties questioned, and the human heart is caught between love and fear. The stage is set for the larger battles to come, with the originals asserting their dominance and the citizens of Mystic Falls learning that survival in a world of vampires, witches, and werewolves is never guaranteed. As Mystic Falls evolves, the town that once seemed quaint and charming becomes a crucible for transformation, danger, and revelation. Seasons 4 and 5 mark a turning point, where the human and supernatural worlds collide in increasingly complex and deadly ways. Tyler Lockwood's journey reaches a critical phase. Once a high school jock unaware of his family's dark legacy, Tyler discovers the full scope of his powers as a werewolf and, ultimately, as a hybrid under Klaus Mikelson's manipulation. His struggle to control his violent impulses while seeking autonomy becomes emblematic of the series' central theme, the constant tension between humanity and the supernatural. Tyler's evolution also highlights the cost of loyalty and love, particularly in his complicated relationship with Caroline Forbes, whose own journey as a newly turned vampire mirrors Tyler's struggle to accept her altered identity. Meanwhile, Rick, Mystic Falls' steadfast police chief, remains a human anchor in a town increasingly overrun by forces beyond comprehension. His attempt to protect the town illustrates the stark divide between human limitation and supernatural power, and his moral compass often clashes with the extraordinary events unfolding around him. Matt Donovan, too, continues to navigate life as one of the few humans unaffected by magic or vampirism, yet he is constantly drawn into the chaos of Mystic Falls by love, friendship, and duty. Elena Gilbert faces the most profound transformation of her journey. At the start of Season 4, she is still human, grappling with the complexities of her love triangle with Stefan and Damon, while confronting the looming threat of Klaus. But her near-death experience and eventual transition into a vampire marks a seismic shift in the story. Elena's transformation is not merely physical. It challenges her sense of identity, reshapes her relationships, and forces her to confront the moral ambiguities of immortality. Stefan's struggle intensifies as his darker Ripper persona resurfaces, a violent and impulsive side of his nature that threatens those he loves, while Damon's love for Elena is tested as he confronts both his own demons and the relentless threats surrounding them. Season 5 further expands the supernatural mythology of Mystic Falls. The Travelers, a nomadic group of witches with a terrifying ability to possess bodies, arrive with motives that blur the line between survival and domination. Catherine Pierce returns once more, weaving deceit, revenge, and cunning into the lives of the Salvatore brothers, Elena, and the town at large. The original shadow continues to loom large, connecting Mystic Falls to a broader supernatural world where alliances are fragile and the consequences of every action ripple across centuries. During these seasons, Mystic Falls itself becomes a battlefield. Friendships fracture and reform, love is tested against impossible odds, and every character, human or supernatural, must confront the choices that will define their fates. Bonnie Bennett's magical abilities grow exponentially, her role as protector of the town increasingly central, even as the weight of responsibility threatens to consume her. Caroline's strategic intelligence and resilience as a vampire shine, positioning her as both a leader and a fighter in the ongoing supernatural conflicts. By the end of Season 5, the town that once symbolized normalcy has been irreversibly changed. The stakes have grown higher, the threats deadlier, and the characters' relationships more complex. The arrival of hybrids, the deepening influence of the originals, and the emergence of new mystical adversaries set the stage for the next chapters. Seasons where loss, resurrection, and the ultimate battle for Mystic Falls will test every bond and challenge every heart. By the time Seasons 6 and 7 arrive, Mystic Falls is no longer the quiet, seemingly idyllic town it once was. It has become a nexus of danger, magic, and the unknown. These seasons are defined by transformation, grief, and the ever-present tension between humanity and the supernatural. Season 6 opens with Elena Gilbert absent from the story, trapped in a magical slumber tied to the death of her parents. Her absence leaves a void that the other characters must navigate, and it places the burden of protecting Mystic Falls squarely on the shoulders of the Salvatore brothers, Bonnie Bennett, and their allies. Stefan grapples with his lingering Ripper persona, struggling to balance morality with survival, while Damon wrestles with guilt, love, and his own ever-present darkness. Their bond, strained yet unbreakable, remains the emotional backbone of the series, proving that even in the face of loss, family endures. Bonnie Bennett continues her evolution as a witch. Once a student learning the limits of her power, she now becomes a linchpin in the battle between life and death, using magic to save those she loves even as it threatens her own existence. Caroline Forbes steps further into leadership, guiding the younger generation while balancing her own relationships and responsibilities. Tyler Lockwood's story arcs continue to explore the complexities of hybrid identity, personal freedom, and loyalty, cementing his role as both hero and protector. Season 6 also introduces a wave of new threats, including sirens and other mystical forces, while the Travelers, a nomadic group of dangerous witches, return with destructive plans. The original's influence still lingers, their legacy shaping the lives of the Salvatore brothers and their allies in subtle but lasting ways. As enemies rise and alliances shift, the town becomes a chessboard, where every choice carries deadly consequences. Season 7 escalates the darkness further. Ancient enemies and new villains bring hellfire and chaos to Mystic Falls, forcing the characters to confront past sins and unfinished business. Damon and Stefan continue to battle their inner demons, while Bonnie struggles with the cost of her powers and the emotional toll of leadership. Caroline, Matt, and Rick navigate survival and morality in a world increasingly defined by supernatural threats, where the line between friend and foe is never clear. Thematically, these seasons explore the cost of immortality, the pain of loss, and the resilience required to endure. Characters are forced to question their identity, their purpose, and the sacrifices they are willing to make for those they love. Death becomes a fluid concept, with loss and resurrection shaping the emotional landscape, while the supernatural chaos reminds viewers that in Mystic Falls, the past is never truly gone, and danger always lurks just beyond the surface. By the end of Season 7, Mystic Falls has been irrevocably changed. The characters are battered but stronger, wiser but haunted, and ready to face the ultimate reckoning that will come in the final season. The stage is set for closure, for confrontation, and for the final exploration of love, sacrifice, and the true meaning of family. The final season of the Vampire Diaries brings every story, every character, and every conflict to its dramatic climax. Mystic Falls, a town that has weathered centuries of supernatural chaos, faces its ultimate reckoning. Season 8 is defined by choices, redemption, and the enduring struggle between love, morality, and the darkness that lies within us all. Elena Gilbert returns, awakening from the magical slumber that kept her trapped for years. Her re-entry into the world reignites the love triangle with the Salvatore brothers, Stefan and Damon, but also reintroduces a human vulnerability that balances the series' darker elements. Stefan, who has endured the longest journey of self-redemption, finds himself at a crossroads, confronting the Ripper persona one last time while striving to protect the people he loves. Damon faces the consequences of his past choices, grappling with guilt, passion, and the moral weight of immortality. Together, the brothers' final journey becomes not only about saving Mystic Falls, but also about discovering what it truly means to be human, despite being vampires. Meanwhile, Bonnie Bennett plays a pivotal role in the ultimate conflict. Her mastery of magic and her unwavering loyalty make her both a key protector of Mystic Falls and a bridge between the human and supernatural worlds. Caroline Forbes steps into leadership once more, guiding the town and its residents with strategy, courage, and a keen understanding of the challenges they face. Tyler Lockwood, Matt Donovan, and Rick continue to exemplify humanity's resilience in the face of supernatural chaos, proving that mortal strength is just as vital as immortal power. Season 8 introduces Catherine Pierce's final schemes, doppelganger lore, hellfire threats, and the looming presence of ancient enemies who test the limits of every character. The original's legacy remains influential, connecting back to Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca's actions, which shaped Mystic Falls long before the Salvatore brothers arrived. As battles erupt and alliances are tested, every choice carries monumental consequences: life and death, love and loss, redemption and damnation. The series finale delivers emotional closure. Stefan makes the ultimate sacrifice, leaving a legacy of heroism, love, and redemption. Damon and Elena find their way back to one another, fulfilling the love story that has driven the series since its inception. Mystic Falls, scarred yet resilient, stands as a testament to the courage, loyalty, and humanity of its residents, both mortal and immortal. The finale honors the bond of family, friendship, and love, proving that even in a world full of darkness, hope, sacrifice, and redemption endure. Season 8, and the series as a whole, emphasizes the enduring themes of the Vampire Diaries. Love transcends time. Choices define us, and even immortality cannot shield us from the consequences of our actions. As the story closes, Mystic Falls remains a place of legend, where the echoes of its supernatural past continue to resonate, and the memories of its heroes live on in the hearts of those who experience their journey. Beyond the supernatural drama, intense romances, and epic battles, the Vampire Diaries is packed with fascinating trivia and behind-the-scenes stories that give fans a deeper appreciation of the show. One of the most iconic aspects of the series is the on-screen chemistry between the Salvatore brothers. Ian Somerhalder Damon and Paul Wesley Stefan were friends in real life before the show began, and that genuine camaraderie translates into their complex and often tense brotherly relationship. Their banter, loyalty, and rivalry feel authentic because it's rooted in real-life friendship. Ninadobrev, who played Elena and also portrayed Catherine Pierce, often had to film intense emotional scenes back-to-back, switching seamlessly between two characters with vastly different personalities, a testament to her skill and stamina as an actress. Mystic Falls itself became almost a character in the series, largely filmed in Covington, Georgia. The town's charming streets, historic buildings, and southern atmosphere gave the fictional town a sense of realism, blending everyday life with an underlying sense of mystery and eeriness. Fans visiting Covington often recognize the Mystic Grill, the Salvatore boarding house, and other iconic locations, cementing the town's place in pop culture. Tyler Lockwood's hybrid storyline was one of the show's most compelling arcs, blending werewolf lore with vampire mythology in a modern, teen-driven context. This allowed the series to explore themes of identity, control, and personal choice in the supernatural world. Similarly, Bonnie Bennett's journey from a novice witch to a powerful protector showcased the cost of power and sacrifice, making her one of the most beloved and relatable characters. The original's introduction expanded the universe, paving the way for the successful spin-off The Originals and Legacies. Characters like Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca became fan favorites, with their complex family dynamics, moral ambiguity, and centuries-long history adding depth to the story. Many actors reprised their roles across spin-offs, creating a rich, interconnected supernatural universe beloved by fans. Other fun trivia include small but meaningful details. The series often used literary and historical references, subtle nods to vampire mythology, and Easter eggs for fans to discover. The show's influence extended far beyond television. Fan conventions, social media communities, and fan fiction proliferated, keeping the fandom alive long after the series finale. It's no exaggeration to say that the Vampire Diaries left a lasting impact on popular culture, redefining what a supernatural drama could achieve in the modern era. Ultimately, these behind-the-scenes stories, trivia, and fan connections highlight why the series continues to resonate. It's not just about vampires or magic. It's about friendships forged, sacrifices made, and enduring power of storytelling that captivates hearts and imaginations around the world. As the sun sets over Mystic Falls, it leaves behind more than shadows. It leaves the echoes of centuries of love, loss, and resilience. The Vampire Diaries is more than a story about vampires, witches, and werewolves. It is a story about the choices that define us, the sacrifices we're willing to make for the people we love, and the enduring bonds that survive even the darkest nights. From the quiet streets where Elena Gilbert mourned her parents, to the battles that tore the Salvatore brothers apart and brought them back together, every heartbeat in Mystic Falls carries the weight of emotion, morality, and destiny. Characters like Bonnie, Caroline, Tyler, Matt, and Rick remind us that courage is not defined by immortality or power, but by the willingness to stand up for what is right, even when the odds are impossible. The originals, Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca, demonstrate that even the most ancient and powerful beings are shaped by love, family, and the choices they make. Through 8 seasons, the series wove an intricate tapestry of relationships, rivalries, and redemption. It explored humanity and morality through the lens of the supernatural, showing us that even vampires struggle with love, guilt, and identity, and that being human is often the greatest challenge of all. Mystic Falls will always be a place of legend where history, heartbreak, and heroism collide. Even as the final credits roll, the story continues in the hearts of its fans. The romances, the betrayals, the victories, and the losses linger as a reminder that great stories do not end. They echo. And in Mystic Falls, every shadow tells a story, every heartbeat matters, and the legacy of the Salvatore brothers, Elena Gilbert, and all who call this town home will never fade. For those who stepped into this world, The Vampire Diaries is not just a series. It is an experience, a journey through love, danger, and immortality that reminds us that even in darkness, hope, loyalty, and love endure. Mystic Falls may be fictional, but its stories and its heroes will live forever,